in Montgomery County, chances are you've passed this historic site hundreds of times and never even knew it was here. You have to look quick to catch the sign. But hidden behind these trees, just off of Old Georgetown Road in Bethesda, lies an American treasure, the original home of Uncle Tom's Cabin. By 1903, when Thomas Edison first portrayed it on the screen, most Americans already knew the life of a slave was harsh and inhumane. But 50 years earlier, when Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin was published, many found it shocking.
Here was the first time made available to the general public the real picture of enslavement and what enslavement truly looked like.
Stowe's classic eventually became the most popular book of its time, selling over 300,000 copies. Part of the popular NPR radio show, Backstory, University of Richmond president Ed Ayers evaluates its impact.
It reframes the whole debate over slavery in terms of mothers and children, and it touches the hearts of many people who had been immune to being touched by political arguments. It becomes the most popular play in 19th century America for generations afterwards. The scene that we remember the most today is Eliza and her baby escaping across the frozen river. That's what speaks to us today. A mother risking her life to escape the snares of slavery is the most enduring vision.
But when it was published serially in an abolitionist newspaper, Stowe's agenda aroused suspicion, and soon questions arose about the truth behind her novel.
She names Reverend Josiah Henson as her inspiration for the lead character, Uncle Tom.
Cheryl Spicer knows all about Henson. She manages the site where Uncle Tom's Cabin once stood. Much of the 270 acres that were the original plantation have been lost to development. Back in the early 19th century, it was owned by Isaac Riley, and Josiah Henson acted as overseer to Riley's 20 or so slaves.
This plantation, during the time period when Henson is here, most of your primary crops are going to be your cereal crops. They're wheat, barley, corn.
Over time, Henson became a Methodist preacher and began to think about his freedom. Facing the danger of being sold down south, Henson and his family fled to Canada.
During this time period, 1830, in the United States, you could still, in a free state, be recaptured and then sold into slavery or taken back to your owners. So the only way to guarantee your freedom is to leave U.S. territories.
In Canada, Henson founds Dawn Settlement for escaped slaves and publishes his autobiography. After Harriet Beecher Stowe adapts his life story, he becomes a celebrity, reveling in his newfound fame.
Now the new moniker for him is Uncle Tom. He's like, yes, he'll embrace Uncle Tom because he can travel now to speak against the enslavement of blacks here in the United States.